Hello, good morning. Have a nice day. My name is Muhammad Jufri. I'm from the fifth semester of STKP Pegiri Bangkalan. My major is English department. Today, I'd like to explain about my lesson plan. Before starting my explanation for today, I'd like to say thank you very much for our beloved lecturer, Mr. Matt, as the teacher of our classroom meeting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to talk about a lesson plan, of course, it is very important for us. It is needed very much by us when we would like to teach our student well. It is also the first preparation that we have to prepare as well as possible for our student. We as a teacher, of course, we would like to understand, we would like to know, we would like to understand about the student's understanding. I think because of it, because of lesson plan, we will understand well what will students do, and we will understand well what will student activity, and also we will understand well the understanding of student. We will understand well the students understand about our material, or the student don't understand about our material. I think because of it, because of lesson plan, we will understand it more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the topic of my lesson plan is understanding structure of English. Structure of English, it is very important for us while we would like to teach, while we would like to understand well about English. It is the basic of English. We want to talk in English. We want to conversation in English with all students, with for this country. Of course, for the first time, we have to understand well about structure of English. Here, material needed: a book, paper, pen, paper, and reference book. All right. Next, and for the second one, for the next slide, actually, uh, in lesson plan there are four kinds of types. They are warm up, teaching contents, and the others. For the first time, for the first time, I'd like to explain about warm up. Here, the time length. Here, 10 minutes. For the first time is warm up. Warm up. For the first time is warm up. For the first, greet students. Teacher gives students and give announcement or motivation. Student activities. What will students do? The students will respond what the teacher said. And for the second one, teacher takes attendance list and say to all students, present one by one. To all students, present one by one. And what will students activities? What will students do? Students will respond well by saying present. For example, like the teachers asked to the Dewi, and for example, like teachers, Dewi will say present. All right. So because of check attendance list, we will understand. We will know how many students can able to how many students are able to come to our class meeting. We will understand it well. We'll understand it more. And for the third one, teacher asks about the lesson that has been the last lesson that has been studied. Of course, for all of the teachers, the teachers have to ask to all students about the last lesson, and the students can remind about, and we can remind it. We can remind about the last lesson. What student activity? What students do? What will students do? For the students have to remember about the last lesson, and answer the teacher's question. Here also the teachers can give all students question, and the teacher have to say, have to answer the teacher's question. And for the third one, for the fourth one, teacher asks about students' homework. Of course, students' activity. What will students do? Of course, its students have to submit the homework. If there is homework, of course, the student have to submit it, and the teachers have to correct it. And for the last one of warm up, teacher gives title, give little explanation of the lesson title that be going to thought. Of course, for the first time, for the first meeting, while we meet student for the first time, we have to explain little of the title lesson. All right. And student activity here, all of students have to take a book and a pen to prepare their lesson. The next slide. Next slide is teaching content. Timeline. I choose the timeline here. 20 minutes. Teaching content are teachers gives the title of lesson. For example, like simple past tense. Of course, for just now, teacher give a little explanation. But for today, for now, the teacher have to give more explanation about simple past, about the title of lesson. And what will students do? Students activity. Students have to listen. What will teacher explain? Of course, if the student would like to make all student, if the student would like to understand well about our material, of course, the student have to focus to our explanation. And for us as a teacher, have to make all students pay attention. We have to create all students pay attention to us. So that way the student will understand well about our material. And the teacher, for the second one, the teacher gives way how to make a sentence of simple past. For example, like for a positive tense, subject, verb to, and object. And for negative tense, subject, did, not, plus verb to, and object. And for the interrogative tense, did, subject plus verb 1 and plus object. Of course, we have to explain it. We have to explain how to make simple past. What will student activity? Students have to pay attention what will teacher deliver. Of course, students have to focus. In the way. Have to focus in the lesson. All right. And for the fourth one and for the third one, teacher gives some examples of simple past tense, such as Dewi went to Gavi last night. Dewi did not go to Gavi last night. Did Dewi go to Gavi last night? All right. Here, because of example, we will know the understanding of student. The student understand or the student don't understand because of the example. While the student can do the example, can understand about the example, of course, the student can understand. The student understand what will be thought. What will be thought to all students before. Alright. We can measure it. We can measure the understanding of student because of the example. And student activity, students have to understand about the example of lesson or of simple past tense. Okay, next slide. Here practice. Teachers gives to all students for making story in a simple past tense form. For example, like Cinderella. We can give all students and we can ask to all students to make storytelling, for example, like here Cinderella. And for the second one, teacher asks students to tell the storytelling in front of the class. We ask the teacher, of course, we would like to make all students understand. It's not only in grammatical, but also we would like to make all students understand about speaking also. But we as a teacher, we have to make all students active more in the class. So how to make it? Of course, because of presentation, because of their presentation. So because of this storytelling, and they tell in front of us, we can check it. We can measure it. We can measure the understanding of student how to public speak in front of the class. This also can make mentalities of students higher than before. All right. And teachers ask students to submit papers and of the story. All right. And student activities here. Teacher for the last one, for the last one, teacher gives ice-breaking reflection to make all students happy. Ice-breaking reflection, reflection, of course. Relaxation. All right. It is very important for us while we would like to make all students happy. We would like to make all students happy. I think because of it, because of the happiness of student, we will we will be easy to make all students understand well. Because of what? Because while we ask to my teacher, for the first time, for while we would like to make all students well, while we would like to teach all students, for the first time we have to make all students happy. While student happy, it is will be easy. The knowledge will come to our mind easy, and the knowledge will come to the student's mind easier than before. All right. What will students activity? What will students do? For the students have to do what the teacher asks. Have to have to make storytelling, for example, like Cinderella here. And for the students have to, for the second student have to tell the story. And for the third one, students have to submit to the teacher. And for the last one, students have to follow what the teacher do. For the next slide is application. The timeline of application is 30 minutes. The teachers, for the first, the teacher asks to the students to open the reference book on the page 13 and asks them to do the practice. Alright. I think because of this way, of course, all of students will understand more about our material. They would like to know about the references. And the teachers, for the second one, the teachers ask to all students to exchange the practice paper and correct together. I think because of it, what will today student activity? What will students do? Students have to exchange the practice paper and correct together. I think because of it, because of this way, the students will understand. For the first time, of course, for the teachers have to explain, have to tell it is the wrongness, it is the trueness, and the student will correct it. The student have to correct it, and the students will understand more about the mistake, about the wrongness. It is wrong or it is true. The student will understand well about it. And for the next one, teacher reviews the practice to give consolation. Students have to make all students have to focus on teacher review. Of course, the student after student correct together. After student correct together, of course, for the last one, teacher have to correct also, have to review. It is true or it is not, or it is true or not. All right. And for the last one, teacher gives homework. For example, such as making video with the story that have been made today. Students have to make video with the story that has been made today and have to submit to the next in the next meeting. Of course, because today is a modern era, we can ask to the students to make a video and upload to YouTube. All right, and we can measure the active, and we can measure the active of student. Student, it is they are active, or the student or they don't active in everything. All right, and it is for the last one. It is my unit test. It is my unit test. For the first unit test, for the test one, part one is for the part one is simple past tense to be. It is the easiness. It is very easy for all students. It is very easy. For example, I choose here. I choose multiple choice, and the students will be easy, and the student will be happy to submit it and to answer the question. And for part two, I make for part two, I make unit tests to make all students choose the true one. and the correct one. Johnny, for example, Johnny to Surabaya last night. Here, while the student understand well about the simple one, of course, student will understand how to answer it, how to answer the blank, how to make the blank easy. All right. For example, like here, Johnny to went to Surabaya last night, of course. And for the last one is review storytelling. Review storytelling and answer the question. Of course, we as a teacher, we would like to make all students understand well about our material. I think because of reading, we can make all students read everything. For example, like if we can check the students like it very much or like the reading very much or not. We can check it. We can measure it. Sometimes there are many kinds of students. Most of students, the hobbies of students reading a book, but sometimes for all students, most of students lazy to read a book, to read a book. So because of it, because of this way, because of this review, the storytelling and answer the question of it, the questions, I think we can improve the understanding of student, while the student's hobby is reading. But for the other hand, we can make all students understand well, although they don't understand, although they don't like read very much. All right, we can make them understand well. I think that's all for my explanation. I very much. I do apologize for my mistake. Thank you very much. I hope very much all of you can understand what I explain. And thank you very much. And see you goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.